Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at the 1 to 4 player game Queendomino. This is published by Blue Orange Games. So we're going to go ahead down to the table here. I'm going to give you a general overview of how the game plays, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Queendomino. So Queendomino, if you ever played Kingdomino, is like a layer on top of Kingdomino. So in Kingdomino, you're basically going to be going for these different tiles throughout the game. So you're going to draw, to start the game out, you're going to draw 4 tiles, and you're going to put them in numeric order here, from lowest to highest, and then flip them over. Each player in Queendomino will gain 7 money and a knight and a worker. Now in a 2-player game, just to briefly mention, you'll have 2 of these workers, and instead of making a 5x5 grid that we'll go over in a second, you're going to make a 7x7 grid. And the game comes with enough components up to 4 players. So little pieces out here. What you're going to do is at the start of the game, you're going to randomly select who goes first, and they're going to select which tiles they want to put down in their area. And just to go over in Kingdomino real quick, what you're doing, because this builds off of Kingdomino, is you're trying to build a 5x5 grid around your castle. Now you don't have to be in any particular order, you just can't go past 5 spaces, which this is 2. And when you're placing down tiles, you have to place down a tile where the territories, at least one of the territories, matches like this. Except for anything adjacent to the castle is wild, so I can place this here. And the next tile I could place here because there's 2 of these little pastures here. At the end of the game, so for example here, just to go over real quick, let's say I had a setup like this. So at the end of the game, for blue spaces, I would get the points for the number of spaces that are blue times the number of crowns. So in this particular example, I would get 3 times 3, so I'd have 9 points. But for these red spaces here, since there's nothing here and no crown, it's 0 points because it's 2 times 0. That's general scoring for Kingdomino. Now, just to go over next, the turns. So how you're going to do the turns here, and we're going to go over what gets added in a second. But in Kingdomino, you're going to each round flip over 4 more tiles, and again you're going to put them from lowest to highest, and you'll flip them over. And the person who selected the highest tile gets to pick first. Before they pick, they have to place their tile in their, this is orange I know, but they have to place the tile in their kingdom, and then they can select a new tile. And after everyone has done that in Kingdomino, the next round would go and you'd have another set of tiles. In Queendomino, before you select that next tile, there's a couple different actions that you can do in the middle. So you can do 3 different things potentially. On the tile that you just placed, you can place one of these knights. If you place the knight, so let's say I have a little bit more on here. If I place the knight here, because I just placed that tile there, I will get 1, 2, 3 coins. I'll get a coin for every matching territory this touches. And coins are important because at the end of the game, they are points. And we'll go over how many points and stuff in a second. But just know that. And they have another purpose, which we're going to go over in a second now. So the next thing you do is construct a building. But you can only construct a building, so we're fudging a little bit here. We're going to say this exists on red territories. These are special territories that let you build buildings. So on your turn, you can purchase 1 building. And if you look at this little row right here, this is the cost of the buildings. So this building is free. This one costs 1 money. This costs 2 money. This costs 3 money. This costs 4 money. And when you purchase a building, they do all sorts of different things. But the first thing they do is when you look at the top upper left hand corner, you get that. So you'll get 2 more knights. So you can use those to get more coins, to get more stuff. This is how many points you get. Now this one here, you're just getting 2 knights and 3 points, but a lot of them give you different bonus points. Like this one here will give you a point for every tower you have and gives you a tower. When you get a tower, say I bought that one, you put it in your kingdom. The person who has the most towers gets the queen to visit. When the queen visits, all future purchases, which you can only buy one per turn, cost 1 coin less, which is really nice. If you tie with the player has the most, the queen will visit you. So that's how the queen works. But back to this. So when you purchase tiles, and at the end of the round, so once everyone is gone and purchased their tiles, this will get refilled. But the other action that you can do is you can bribe the dragon. So it costs 1 coin, and you can bribe the dragon and be like, oh, okay, well, my opponent really has a ton of these red spaces that are separate. And this is for every separate territory that's red, you'll get 2 points each at the end of the game. I'll blow that up with the dragon. So you pay 1 coin and you blow it up with the dragon. You can do that as one of your additional actions throughout the game. After that, I destroyed all this in here, but after that, then you would place your guy here, selecting the tile that you would get the next round. That is basically it. The game will continue until you run out of tiles. And whatever the player count is, you're always going to have 4 tiles out. For 3 players, you're always going to discard a tile at the end of every round. For 2 players, you have, again, 2 meeples, so you will select all 4. And I wrote over this one, but we'll show one over here. The game comes with a really cool scoring pad that makes it very simple to figure out how to do the scores and write them down. So remember I said coins are worth points? Well, every 3 coins is worth 1 point. And then you just go through, like in Kingdomino, all the normal territories. You have this new red territory too, which you'll notice in the game, none of the red territories have crowns, but you can buy some buildings that do. So you can use that to get points for your red territories if you just got a lot of them. And then here is each of the different types of additional scoring you can get for the red tiles. Like you can get one for each separate area. So if I had a blue over here and a blue not touching here, and it had one that scored for each blue area, that'd be 4 points, or whatever it says for the multiplication. It just happened the tile I showed you was 2 each. You can also get points for like every castle you have and points for every knight that you have in your area. You can also just get plain old points, like this one here is just plain old points. So that is basically the gist of what you're going to be doing in Queendomino. I did go over this really quick. If you wanted more of a basics on the core of the game before Queendomino adds this additional element to the game, you're going to want to watch our Kingdomino video. But just know that you're going to get 3 additional actions per turn that you could take. You don't necessarily always take them. And at the end of the round, all these will slide down and this will refill. And that's going to be your new market for the next round. That's basically it. Let's go ahead back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts on Queendomino. So I really like Queendomino. I actually like Queendomino more than I like Kingdomino. Kingdomino is a fun game. It's very easy to teach, and that game is great for playing with friends and family who aren't necessarily into the gaming hobby and just want to play a nice, fun, family weight game. This game is still family weight. However, those additional steps that you get in the middle there, where you can purchase tiles to upgrade or purchase little buildings to upgrade your red tiles and get different scoring options on there, or you can place down those knights and get coins, which are also points at the end of the game, or you can move that dragon there and destroy one of those building tiles before someone else gets it. It's amazing. It adds a lot more strategic depth to the game, which I love. It adds a little bit more, a lot more player interaction to the game. You're paying attention to those buildings that come out, and you're paying attention more to what those players are doing, especially when you get the towers out, because you don't want the queen visiting and giving them a discount for paying less for more of those old buildings. It's just a great game. And honestly, if it comes down to it and I want to play this game or Kingdomino, I'm always going to ask people to play Queendomino instead. Not that Kingdomino is any bad at all. This game I just like more. I just like that little bit more that it adds. And also, the Giants expansion will work with this too, so you can add more player counts to the game. But overall, that's my thoughts on Queendomino. It's a great game. If you're looking for a family weight game and you want a little bit more strategy, if you've played Kingdomino, not that Kingdomino has a lot of strategy too, but if you want just a little bit more to the game, Queendomino is probably going to be the game for you. Thank you for watching.